I got to know your story, bro. I got to know the story. What brings you in? Why did you come here? What's the drama?
I'm traveling here for work, so I'm seeing a few different expos and a few different conferences.
Okay.
But Glute Gangster, this personal trainer that I'm friends with, I have an imbalance.
Okay.
This side is a lot lower than this side.
Okay.
I've tried isolation training. I've even dabbled in a bit of SEO, and I can't seem to
What's
get it.
what's SEO? I never heard of that.
Site enhancement oils.
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to level it out, trying to have a more symmetrical shape. She said it seems like I need to get my front delt scraped out, or maybe even my right lat.
Because this shoulder has dropped a little bit more.
Can you tell?
Kind of, sort of.
Can you
Yeah,
see?
take the shirt off.
Okay.
I can tell just through the shirt, probably about half an inch. So, yeah.
So, fully relaxed.
Yeah, turn around. Okay. Yeah. All right, turn back around. How long has this been happening?
I can look back in photos, probably 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Here's the trick about what's going on with this situation here. Because once something like this starts, it started 3 years ago. We'll just start at that time frame. Now and you're still training, right? The muscle is now being trained to stay that way, and you're not letting it actually open up completely. That's not a bad thing. It just happens. Everybody does that. Everybody's going to have an imbalance. Yours is pretty extreme. This not only causes an imbalance from left side to right side, but also from top to bottom and crossways. So
it's even changed my chest development.
yeah.
Like you can see, like I'm pointing down on one side, where I've never had that issue in the past.
Yeah. This is why I say when it starts and you don't treat it, now you're walking down a pathway where all motor nerve connection has to change to compensate for a joint indeficiency. So now when you're like, well, all this doesn't seem right, this now has to take over because you're not going to compromise your training. You're still doing chest day. You're still doing shoulder day. You're still going to the platform of like, I need to just keep PRing and do this and get bigger and stronger, gain muscle, shred weight. But did we correct the imbalance? And now it's 3 years. So now you have to train the muscle tissue and reverse 3 years of damage. Here's the best part about it. It can be corrected in 3 to 4 sessions. If you know what's going on, it can be, and we can start seeing improvement and getting you walking down that path where everything is now getting a lot better. Not saying you will be completely even in 3 to 4 sessions, but now you can train better, perform better, look better, and it slowly gets there. So as you see it start to come back, we already know how to tackle it and make it manageable. So I'm assuming you do bodybuilding?
Yeah, it's been 6 or 7 years since the show, but
Okay, that's fine, but you still train as a bodybuilder?
yeah, I'm coming down right now from 265. I'm in my mid 230s.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I'm 190 on stage, so I got a lot to go.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is so everyone poses different, but when I come up and do a front double bicep,
Yeah.
I have pain right there, like retracting it and coming back out.
Uh-huh.
And then even on,
Do you have pain in the same shoulder that's depressed?
it's this one.
And when you say pain, what does that mean to you when you say pain? Like, is it pinchy pain? Is it, restricting? Is it dull ache?
Restricting and pinching.
Yeah.
Like it restricts like how I come up and like I try to cater to it.
And you feel the pain back here or in the shoulder?
It's straight right here.
It's straight right there in the delt? Yeah.
It even changes sometimes how I do presses. I try
Yeah.
to try not to compensate,
Uh-huh.
but I can feel my body want to try to compensate. For the
Yeah.
shoulder.
With that movement, the forearm and the rib cage is affected. That's what's causing the pain here. Just with that movement.
Okay.
And that's because everything else here isn't working right. So assisted muscle groups are now saying, we're supposed to assist. Why are you making us a primary mover? And the body's tricked into making movement, and it's bringing you so much pain and tension when you do little things. And it's alerting you to say, bro, like, how much more pain do I got to give you before we get things corrected? So, but with that movement going out, trying to do that flexing motion to do the bicep, it's all coming from the forearm and the serratus, this right here. This is locking up, which is not allowing good, what we call scapular delivery, which lets the shoulder blade glide and move properly because things are just so seized up and that guy's not moving.
Can you see it too? Or can you kind of...
Yeah. Even the upper fibers of the pec here aren't as abundant as here. And this right here activates just when you turn the wrist like this.
Okay.
Yeah, just with wrist activation here.
How's the lighting look?
Oh man,
That's right.
it's good. He puts the good filters on, so trust me. We all look like pros in here. But that right there isn't firing. So we know the neck is affected too. All the nerves that come here from the brachial plexus nerve system operate all this. And just with turning the wrist, something's cut off and not letting this work as well. So everything from wrist to elbow to shoulder, just because that shoulder blade is depressed and won't move, every muscle that attaches to these joints and the rib cage, thoracic region, is causing that. And you're just allowing it to grow in this compacted state. And this side, I'm sure still has issues, but it's overcompensating as well.
My
So-
strength has gone down substantially too.
Oh man.
Just on chest presses in general, I mean, I have to be very careful to not inflame it and not be like protecting it the whole next day.
See, and that's what I mean. It's like, what's the purpose of trying to be bodybuilding if the muscle tissue can't perform well? When it fatigues, we know that neurologically it's now so stressed out that it's not sending the proper motor nerve signal to the tissue to say activate, activate. You can still do the motion, but not get the performance out of it. Now it's just gonna fatigue and it's gonna say, yeah, we're tapping out, bro. I don't care. And then you're like, oh, let's double scoop the pre-workouts then. Let's just really kill it. Trying to trick the mind, to trick the body to perform an action. But in reality, things are just disrupted and it can come back. It can come back. There's hope for you, bro. There's hope for you. Yeah, that's tight, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna come down, but I can't.
You can't. All right. We're gonna start you face up. So just get on the table here, face up. All right. We're gonna work through here. And we're gonna release that muscle right there just to help improve this to activate more. And this will improve mobility of the joint. So, man, what a day, huh? What a day.
I thought it was tough. That's so funny.
You are tough, man. You're the toughest guy in the room. I know that. All right, we're just gonna. So this radial brachialis muscle that I'm gonna start in works well with the infraspinatus. The infra helps stabilize that shoulder joint. So we need to get these two to talk together and then these muscles to talk together.
Got it.
So.
Do you mind if I'm vocal if I need to be, or do I?
Yeah, do whatever you gotta do.
I feel like people go to massages to relax, but every time I've gotten one, I'm like, hey, I need you to apply more pressure and do this. And
Oh man.
oh, 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 oh.
You good, bro? It's still there. It's still there. When the scraping tools finally break out, they're like, dude, this feels better. Now, why scraping would work good for the delts? You have a lot of scar tissue in there. It's going to help just bring a lot of pliability here, but it's not going to correct the imbalance. Eventually, once you get back to training, when you're like, oh, the shoulder moves good, it's just going to seize right back up again. So we need to correct the imbalance before we can get to the scraping. So if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so start from the ground up.
Yeah. You can scrape any muscle and bring pliability and blood flow and detoxify it. That's great. But if it's not communicating well, then what's the purpose? It's just you're just gonna get the symptom right back. Just give it a couple days. And here, what we actually want to do is correct it so we can manage the symptoms so you can still keep training and perform better. Yeah, this bicep is tight, bro. So why is it important to release this short head of the bicep when you have a depressed scapula that won't move very well? This short head of the bicep attaches to the shoulder blade up here. A little protrusion called the coracoid process. But then it attaches way down here, right past the elbow here. So when this is too short, because it's too tight, it's not gonna allow this to go back up. It's not gonna let it move. It's gonna clamp down on it. And the worst part about it is the pec minor right in here attaches to the same spot. So now it's limiting how much this guy can actually move and activate when you're actually doing a pressing motion. Hence, it doesn't look well right here. So I don't know if you feel it, but we're using enough pressure here, getting deep in the muscle tissue. It's spasming pretty deep in there. You good?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I'm usually extremely vascular, but like I'm not.
Not today. Not today.
It's always
okay.
like coming in.
All right. On the upper fibers of the pec, we're just going to do some cross fiber friction, bring some blood flow, and then we're going to work underneath the pec. Okay. You said you're going to be here for a whole month?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Interview, if you know that.
Yeah.
On South Lafayette Boulevard.
Okay.
So I'm staying in the condo there with my family.
Oh,
My
nice.
wife and baby.
Oh, nice.
Another thing, lifting my daughter up, handing my daughter to my wife on my right side,
Mm-hmm.
holding that out and going at weird angles, that's made me drop my shoulder out of pain a few times.
You know, like I was saying, when that shoulder blade doesn't glide as well, it's going to call on these two joints and the muscles that go from here to here and here to here to take on the load of what you're going to do, daily activities. And something very small can seem very daunting to the body because now it has to restructure how it's going to respond to stress. And that's when it's like, oh, how come just carrying my kid feels like, oh man, like, should I do that? Is it hurting it more? You know?
His lat worked on
Mm-hmm.
and like scraped,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he gets up, he like flexes it, and the massage therapist is touching him. It's like, see, that was all stuck in there. And now it's coming out.
Yeah, a lot of adhesions happen. So the more pliable you can keep the muscle tissue and fascia, just the better the muscle tissue looks and performs and things like that.
I've always seen that video, and I always thought that was super cool.
Now that you're going through the pain, you think it's cool? You're like, I don't know if I want this, bro.
Not on my forearm. That was real bad.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was real bad.
All right, we're going to get into the pec minor here, okay? So, because I need to understand why it's stuck in a certain way.
That don't hurt at all.
Right?
To like move my shoulder up.
Right?
It was just hurting in the lat.
Look at that. See, shoulder moves pretty well. We feel restriction here when it goes up, so we know that now it's getting into the posterior side. The front was able to relax fairly easy, but here we're going to start on the rib cage, the teres in the lat, and then get right here above on the tricep right here. Okay. So from here we're going to work upward, and then from here we're going to go downward. Okay. I mean, everybody has this
Like a common area.
to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the muscle here that helps and assists that shoulder blade and glide so you can move that shoulder blade very well. So we're going to start on the rib cage here and work our way up. See how this one can just go down just a little bit easier than this one? And visually, this hand's even lower than that one. You can put that arm back on the table. Catch your breath. Let me know when you're ready. Oh, man, what a day, huh? What a day. Now we're going to follow the tissue into that shoulder socket, okay? Right here, it's all gummy in there. That's how you know there's scar tissue getting formed. Fibrotic tissue forming on the anterior serratus, it's going to fixate the subscap. When that subscap gets fixated, you're automatically going to have shoulder pain and give it time, limited range of motion in the shoulder, especially under tension. So this is all scarred up, so we need to break this open. We didn't even use a tool in here. We just used manual therapy, and you're so red right here already. That's how we know there's still so much stagnation and also adhesions in the connective tissue. Catch your breath. Nice, nice. Dude, look at that arm movement, range of motion, all the way through. No restriction.
What?
Now we can get the shoulder blade to move, but now it's like when you get back to training, now you can actually properly isolate certain muscle groups to get them back to functioning normally. So we're gonna get into the subscap in here.
What's funny is I said I only booked for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, is that enough time?
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, we can get a lot done in 30 minutes.
Yeah, we can. And we see those fibers just dancing in that delt. That's how we know. That's how we know that subscap is stuck. Movement here now, and you thought this was your good side. So we know this guy had to take on other additional work just because that side wasn't working. So, but it's okay. We'll slowly get you there, bro. All right, we're gonna work right here. So you don't have a problem with the delt. It's a joint issue. So we have to look at muscles that connect to the shoulder joint to actually create better movement, not the delt itself. That's why I was saying like just scraping the delt would bring movement for just very short term, maybe 1 or 2 days. But the underlying issue that's happening to the joint itself, we got to look at muscles that actually make that joint capsule move. So every muscle we've hit connects to the joint or responds to joint movement to that shoulder. So yeah.
I can pull 6.
Oh yeah.
I can squat 5.
But I can't bench. I haven't benched for damn near 2 or 3 years.
Damn.
Like bar, I just do dumbbell because my shoulder.
Because of your shoulder.
Everyone has a bench story that, oh, I used to bench this and then I hurt my shoulder.
Yeah. This is why I really like to, just let people know as much information as possible of why certain muscle tissue gets too stressed out, and show people that you need to have a good balance of activity and recovery. So even if it's once a week or once every other week, depending on how stressful you train, you need it, because one day something's going to get knocked off balance. Then what? Look at that. You look a little bit more even now. And we just took care of the anterior side. Move the arm straight up. See how you can get into a front double bicep.
Oh, I can rotate up just like that.
Little bit easier, right?
And look at the lines in my bicep. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is how we know connective tissue, the fascia, wasn't sending the proper signals to the muscle tissue, restricting what it's capable of doing, causing a malfunction of muscle communication from joint to joint, which made you think I have to train differently, which is going to get a different muscle response, which it's not going to look good to you, but you can still train, eventually causing a bunch of imbalances. So now it's like when you get back to training, now you can actually train properly, evenly, and actually start posing properly where everything starts to look better. And that was just one side, no, barely any little scraping at all. And we didn't even scrape the delt because you didn't have a delt issue. You had a fixation in this shoulder blade.
There's still a bit there, but.
Yeah. And you know what? And we've only been working for 20 minutes. This is how I'm saying 3 to 4 sessions, you should find good correction and muscle movement. And instead of somebody just saying, go to scraping, go to scraping, go to scraping, let's find out where the problem is and then correct it and then scrape if needed. So you had an imbalance issue, a fixation issue. So here we're going to start on the vertebrae, going all the way up, just relaxing the paraspinal muscles. That's all we're going to do. So right in there. We're going to have to work on this guy right in here. So this is the muscle that's keeping that shoulder blade stuck down. Feel all that knotting in there? But it's deeper than the rhomboid. It's that posterior serratus going all the way through, including the rhomboids and the subscap, just forming more knots. So, and it's all right there.
It almost feels like it's where it meets with my trap.
Yeah, the lower head of the trap goes right there. We should be able to see a nice line there of that muscle tissue, but it's not. There's so much knotting going on here. I mean, it's just all meshed in together because it's all just fixated like this, holding onto this shoulder blade. So we're gonna have to start down here and work our way up. Okay? There's hope for you, bro. There's hope for you.
It makes me so excited.
People are happy coming to the torture room. That's what makes me show up to work every day. It's called the iliocostalis muscle. That guy starts down here in the sacrum and it brushes underneath that medial border of that shoulder blade. So it helps assist it with shoulder movement. All right, we're going to scrape a little here and then we're going to get back to some manual therapy, okay? Yeah, you should feel this pressure even all the way up into that shoulder joint. Oh man, see how smooth that feels now? Oh man.
Ooh. Oh. Huh. Huh.
All right. All right, we're gonna get on these guys right here and this tricep, just because they intersect right here.